Ashwini Mahajan, respond to Santosh Mehrotra's argument that at least at this moment, schemes like production-linked incentives, schemes like Make in India haven't had a material difference in the trade data. You can see some green shoots. Those green shoots will take time to develop and fructify. At this moment, the data speaks for itself. The trade deficit with China has actually grown further.
See, Rahul, you have cut all the trees, and when you need more fruits, you say you have seeded the trees, but so far it has not come. It's true, it has not come. I have told you about the. First of all, I would like to take objection to what Prasanjit had said, that we are layman, we don't know data, we don't understand trade. Professor, you must not say all these things. Let me tell you, as I have already said, that during 2004 and 14, during that period, since there was a huge increase, and we have been listening to the speeches of the leaders then, nobody was talking about that. Our industry was being killed. Our API industry was killed like anything. You see, we had 90% of the API requirement being met by our Indian producers, and by the time we reached 2014, 90% we were importing. So what to say? So when we don't have APIs, then how can immediately you start it now?
So let Supriya Shrinate respond to your point. You make a very important argument that some of these things take years to set up again. You've planted a tree, it will take time for fruits to come. The fact that we don't have pharma API is not something that gets reversed immediately. It's a work in progress. It will take time before results are visible. Quick final words, Supriya Shrinate.
So I will just say two things before I move on to your question, and I'll take 10 seconds to say them. 16 lakh people in this country have renounced their citizenship under the very rule of this government that tells you, and these are mostly high net worth individuals, they're not putting the money where their mouth is, they're not believing in your policies. So that explains why investment is low, and actually gross fixed capital formation is 27%. Under you it used to be 32% under us, just putting the record straight. Your point is well taken, Rahul. Yes, it doesn't take, it can't be done instantly. There has to be a policy, but the policy cannot be to ban apps but increase trade elsewhere. The policy cannot be to ban apps and accept money in the PM CARES fund. The policy can't be to actually crowd out the Indian investors and crowd in the Chinese investors in the startup ecosystem. And very briefly, I will say, false bravado on China has to stop. The government has to take cognizance of the situation, because actually they are funding what China is trying to do at the LAC. There is no other explanation.
Sanju Verma, final words that there should be lesser talk and bravado and a more realistic and pragmatic approach about the need for trade with China. While you can try and wean yourself away, it's a very long and arduous process, and that's the communication, rather than saying you're trying to stop it or reduce it.
Okay, I'll just quickly say a couple of things. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. The biggest success story of Make in India is the Covaxin. Apart from that, Samsung has opened in Noida in 2018, one of its biggest facilities outside of its home country. Look at Apple. Apple's exports this year from India are set to touch 20,000 crore. Maruti Suzuki sells more than 5 cars every minute, showing the purchasing power that the Indian consumer has. And I will tell you one more thing, Rahul, one more thing. Please, one more thing.
Sanju.
Supriya Shrinate sits here and gives a bhashan. I challenge her. Please divulge the contents of the MOU that Sonia Gandhi signed with the CCP in 2008. What was Rahul Gandhi doing? Flirting with the Chinese ambassador at the
Shut up, yaar. Your Prime Minister went for 18 times. What was he doing? What silly argument?
Rahul Gandhi was flirting with the Chinese at the height of the Dokam.
18 बार गलबैया कर रहे थे. क्या कर रहे थे प्रधानमंत्री जाकर? आंख नहीं दिखा पा रहे. लाल शर्ट पहन के गाली मिल रहे. अरे चुप रहो. बेवकूफ औरत बकवास करती आकर.
You are a stupid.
हाँ, लाल आंखें दिखा ली थी. लाल शर्ट पहन के गले नहीं मिल था, एक महीने पहले गले मिल रहे थे ना जब मोदी जी, तो लाल आंखें दिखानी थी। LAC पर आके झड़प करते हैं, ये उनको पैसे भेज रहे हैं। गद्दार कहीं की, चुप, गद्दार।
Okay, this is degenerating.
गद्दार
One
औरत।
second.